Before we get started with today's video, I want to announce that part 2 of my Geometry Dash theory video is currently in the works. I consider part 1 to be the highest quality video on my channel right now, and I plan for part 2 to be just as good, so I really hope you look forward to it. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss it, as you can always change your mind later. But in the meantime, I have this video for you, and I hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, my name is Irma, and today we're going to be discussing another fairly hot topic within the Geometry Dash community, the wait time for the 2.2 update. As you all undoubtedly know, we have been waiting for this update for 4 years. The last major update, 2.1, came out in January 2017. We got a small update, 2.11, in November 2017, but since that was primarily for bug fixes, most people don't really count it as a full update. RobTop, the developer of the game, is well aware of how long 2.2 has taken, stating that he never intended for the update to become as big as it has, that he understands our frustration, and that this will be the last time an update takes this long. He even said recently that he never gets annoyed when we ask about how 2.2 is and when it's coming out, because he knows we've been waiting for it for so long. So why exactly has the update taken so long? According to RobTop himself, it comes down to 2 things. One is the continuous repetitive cycle of adding more content to satisfy the community. As RobTop said in his famous voice chat with GD Colon and a few others, it goes like this. Rob adds some content to an update, but adding that content takes time. During the time it took him to add that content, community expectations for the update have risen, so he feels the need to add more content to meet that expectation. But now, in that time, the community expects even more. This cycle repeats over and over. Usually, RobTop just finds a point to cut himself off and finish what he started so that the update can release, but in 2.2's case, the cycle has gone on for longer than ever before. We are at the point where 2.2 is adding more content than any other update combined, and the community expects so much from it. Luckily, RobTop doesn't seem to be adding new content anymore, only fixing old content. This doesn't necessarily mean 2.2 is on the horizon, and that brings us to reason number 2. When asked the exact reason 2.2 was taking so long, RobTop said this. The main problem with the update was that new features need to work with each other. So I add feature X and it breaks feature Y. Many features started breaking lots of stuff, etc. And since people build crazy stuff in the editor, all the new stuff took a long time to get working correctly. He added that he didn't notice a lot of features were breaking until later, which made it harder to work progressively. RobTop isn't just keeping the update from us because he feels like it. As I concluded in my last discussion video, he's anything but lazy. He wants us to be satisfied with the content we're given, and that content takes a lot of time to get working with everything else in the game. Some of these new features, such as platformer mode and versus mode, are completely different from anything we've ever seen, and so getting things like that working correctly is likely a huge project. Geometry Dash 2.2 is absolutely massive, and I commend Rob for putting in so much work for us over these years. But now, there's a slightly different issue at hand. We know why the update has taken so long, but is it okay that it has gone on this far? Have we been waiting for too long? There are multiple sides to this discussion, and I'll try to explain every one. There's no one objectively correct answer, so please bear with me. The point of view I personally consider most accurate is that 2.2 is simply many updates put together. The map, platformer mode, versus mode, the new core gameplay mechanics, and everything else like that could be the main features of their own updates. Looking at the content to time ratio of 2.2, this update seems fairly normal, if not even better than previous updates. The community is still active and thriving after 4 years of 2.1, so who knows how long 2.2 could last us. That isn't to say that 2.3 will be another huge update, because I really don't think Rob will let that happen again. So, in context of the question, from this point of view, 2.2 has not taken too long at all. However, we still have to take into account the hypothetical. What would change if 2.2 had been split up into smaller updates? If 2.2 was just the new gameplay mechanics, 2.3 was platformer mode, 2.4 was versus mode, etc., would the game be better? Would we as a community be happier? As I've mentioned in a previous video, there are again 2 sides to this. On one hand, smaller but more frequent updates would be overall healthier for the game, as we would never have to wait too much time for new content. There would always be new features to hear about, and the time in between their announcement and release wouldn't be so long. Newer players would likely have a higher chance of sticking around, and veteran players wouldn't quit as frequently. RobTop mentioned recently that people quitting the game isn't all bad, because the servers can only handle so much. But if it did become necessary, I'm sure he would upgrade them. But on the other hand, think of how amazing it will be when 2.2 finally comes out. Think of the hype, the excitement, the joy. After waiting my entire high school life for this update, it will be beyond surreal when I finally get my hands on it. And I know many people feel the same. If 2.2 really is the last update of this magnitude, the levels of hype and pure satisfaction will never be met again. Geometry Dash is by no means dead or dying. In fact, it's doing really well. But 2.2 will surely bring in countless new players and bring the game to new heights. So now we have a new question. Is all of this excitement worth the pain of waiting? And the answer to that question is up for each individual player to decide for themselves. I am confident that RobTop is finished with giant updates like this, and I think that'll be better for the game. The wait time for 2.2 was a wild ride, and now that we're nearing the end, it feels strange to look back for the past few years. And so, to explicitly answer the question in the title of this video, did 2.2 take too long? My answer is that it has, in terms of the health of Geometry Dash, that it has not in terms of the ratio between new content and time waited. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button as it really helps get this video to other people. If you want to see more from me, consider subscribing as well. And now I want to hear from you in the comments. What are you most excited about for 2.2? If you've seen my top 5 2.2 features video, you'll know what I think about this, but I want to hear what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.